This is a bridge in Portugal that I walked across in 2021. I was in a group and I had a guide, and it was still absolutely terrifying. But when I took a moment to look around, it was absolutely mesmerizing. It was spectacular. What a view. That's kind of what adolescence is like, isn't it? It's a long bridge all of us have to travel to cross from childhood to adulthood. It's exciting and scary all at the same time. I certainly felt that way growing up in Atlanta. Don't laugh. I'm sure you look kind of awkward too as a teenager. I remember many of the things you see on this slide: my first part-time job at Macy's, going to the prom, high school graduation. But I also remember some things you don't see on this slide: driving too fast in my Buick Skyhawk down the highway, drinking wine coolers with my friends after football games, you know, the typical teenage thrills. But all of those experiences and my loving parents made me who I am today. But not all kids are so lucky. There are 48 million adolescents on that bridge right now in the United States, and many don't have the supports that they need to cross successfully to adulthood. Using all we know about what's happening during this time of development would certainly help us serve them better. I learned about adolescent brain science at a meeting where our staff was teaching young people who'd been in foster care. They explained how the brain grows from the back to the front, and we're born with capability in our brains around things like blinking and breathing in the back. But it's during adolescence that the front part of the brain starts wiring up. Skills like judgment, planning, and impulse control, often called executive functioning, aren't finished until the mid-20s. This information changed how the teens saw themselves and how the child welfare workers supported them. It was also a huge aha moment for me. I was like, this is how people become adults. Sort of like toddlers learning how to walk. A little bit of stumbling and a little bit of success. I appreciated the perspective because I had a preteen at home, and it helped me see how powerful the science could be, both as a professional and as a parent. So when I became president of the Annie Casey Foundation, I decided to focus on improving the ways we serve adolescents in all of our work, from child welfare and juvenile justice to education and job training. And that focus became an effort called Thrive by 25. It's our commitment as an organization to ensure all young people who are ages 14 to 24 have the basics like food, housing, and health care, relationships with caring adults, multiple ways to get the skills they need to get a good job, opportunities to make money and learn how to manage it, and chances to lead in their lives and in their communities. These were the things that young people told us they needed most, especially those who were struggling. We can think about these essentials as really the cables that hold up that bridge I was talking about. And when we marry them with adolescent brain science, incredible things can happen. Let me give you 2 examples. First, the science tells us that young people learn best by doing, and their brains crave experiences in the real world, not just sitting in classrooms. So we're supporting an effort called the Partnership to Advance Youth Apprenticeship, or PIA. It provides high school students with paid work, new skills, and the chance to earn college credit, and it's getting great results. PIA has already prepared more than 2,400 high school students across the country for high-paying careers in fields like manufacturing, healthcare, and hospitality. And why is PIA so successful? It's because it uses the brain science. It reflects on how young people like to learn, and because it gives them money to meet their basic needs, new mentors, and a plan for the future. The second example I want to share is something called the Soul Family Framework. We know at this age, young people want to be leaders, but they still need the guidance of caring adults to help them make good decisions. Unfortunately, thousands of young people leave foster care every year without a permanent family. We wanted to change that. So we worked with the group of young people on this slide to create SOUL, which stands for Support, Opportunity, Unity, and Legal Relationships. It allows young people in foster care over the age of 16 to choose a circle of unrelated adults in their lives to be their legal guardians, maybe a mentor, a coach, and a neighbor, who work together like a family to help this young person navigate life. Foster youth designed the framework, and they advocated for it to become law in Kansas. Washington, D.C. is next. Soul Family has done more than just create a permanent family for these young people. It's shown what's possible when we allow young people to lead. Paya and Soul are just some of the ways we're applying the science and equipping young people with the Thrive by 25 essentials. But there are many other ways that we could help our young people grow into the adults that they are meant to be and that our communities need. And the operative word in that sentence is we. The Casey Foundation can't do this work alone. It's going to take all of us. Families, employers, policymakers, nonprofits, we all need to think of ourselves as bridge builders. And you, as public health leaders, have a unique role. You know the science, you know how to bring people together to prevent and solve problems, and you're natural innovators. The stakes are really high. We have got to get 48 million young people across this bridge right now. Our future literally depends on it. That's why I wrote my new book, Thrive. It's to help change the narrative about adolescence and help more people see this as a critical window of opportunity. Our young people don't need the pessimism that we hear about them in the headlines every day. They need us to instill in them a sense of purpose and possibility in their lives. And this goal is worthy of our very best effort, because when we do our jobs well, young people cross into adulthood with strong support systems, sharper skills, broader perspective, and the confidence to know who they are and where they're going. I don't know about you, but for me, that's the very definition of what it means to thrive. Thank you.